Wednesday afternoon. You'd rather be outside than inside. Essentially, my name is Manuel Aremu. I'm a marketer. And I just want to say thank you to Chris for having me down today, and thank you for your time. Let's kick things off. So yeah, that title. Marketing is hackable. Essentially, the whole thesis, that's a bit strong. Essentially, the talk for today is going to be talking about how you use marketing to achieve company goals, grow any company imaginable, different hacks and tricks that companies are using to actually build businesses, not just in the UK but around the world as well. A bit of background about myself. Mentioned marketer across a number of industries. So I started in publishing, and then I moved into education, non-profit industry where I actually met Christian, and basically there to accumulate a bunch of skills. But you might be thinking, oh, how did I even get to this position? I'll take you back 5 years. So 5 years ago, actually, it was January 2012, I dropped out of university, and I'm not sure if anyone's from Nigeria or Africa. That was probably not the wisest decision to do. My parents were like, really? Okay. So I dropped out, I had literally zero marketing experience, had about that much in my overdraft, and I had literally no job lined up and no job prospects whatsoever. So I studied economics at the time, but I realized it just wasn't the right course for me. But the thing which sparked my interest in actually diving into marketing is that even when I was from a young kid, I was able to dissect different ad campaigns that came on the TV. Like if I see a different, if I see a car advert, I would start to critique it. I think, okay, maybe they should change the copy, maybe they should have a different actress, maybe they should have a different direction for that particular ad. So that kind of was my interest. I said, okay, let me just follow my passion and see where that goes. So, but then it's kind of hilarious. So it's cool. Dropped out of uni 5 years ago. Let me dive into marketing. But it wasn't. My mum actually said that to me. Literally, verbatim says, if I get a job, I'll go back to Nigeria. Which was actually a true story. I keep reminding her, you actually told me this 5 years ago. She's no, I didn't know. I knew it all worked out. No, I didn't. But yeah, so literally I got a job as a waiter. At the same time, I was trying to launch a creative agency with my friend, and it failed miserably. But that is actually something I'll touch on a little bit later. But then I jumped into hackathons. Is anyone familiar with hackathons?
Oh, yeah.
So hackathon is basically over a weekend period. You have different programmers, designers, and business people come together to create tech solutions towards ideas. So, for example, the one I went to was called Unlock London. So the whole premise was basically everyone get together and figure out different tech ideas and apps that could connect communities. And one I went to was organized by American Express. So they allowed us to play with their technology. So I came along, had no coding experience obviously whatsoever. I just turned up and said, hey, I'll be the marketing person. So I dived in and met a few designers and coders, and we came up together with a solution. Actually, we won one of the prizes for that hackathon, which is pretty cool. And that was actually my, spurred me into actually getting a job at a publishing company. So which is great. I dropped out of uni, space of a year, got a job at a publishing company, doing marketing. I was like, yeah, I must be winning. Life is on the up. And then I got made redundant. So I'm not sure if anyone's seen that video where Brad Pitt's all chilling and then literally his whole life changed. Yeah, so I got made redundant, which was obviously heartbreaking, devastating at the time. And literally that's when I thought I was really gonna go to Nigeria. I love Nigeria, but still I was like, shit. So I was devastated, but I knew I had to get more skills and experience in order to find marketing. And that's the ethos of what I'm trying to explain to you guys today. If I could do it, anyone could use marketing to actually promote what they're doing, whether it's a service or business or an idea basically. And from there, applied for a digital marketing course, and I built my skills and roles, and pretty much now that's what I've done. That was a publishing event company, delivered that my revenue through using email marketing, thousands of links for private university. At the moment, I'm working at Black Curve, which is a B2B pricing company. So essentially our tech helps companies manage and optimize their pricing. And I joined in last September, and we launched in October, and we've grown ever since. So that's a bit of background about me, but enough about me. Let's go back into what the whole talk is about. So yeah, everyone's probably heard about hacking in general. Hacking happens to companies, governments, individuals, even universities as well. Obviously, the most recent one we had in the UK is the NHS ransomware, which affected a lot of NHS trusts around the country, and that probably gives a bad image to hacking, but hacking can actually be used for good. And that's exactly what essentially my job is every single day. It's basically to use growth hacking techniques to actually grow a startup, to get more customers, more awareness, and actually build a company up basically. So, I'm not sure has anyone heard of Mr. Robot? If you've heard of Mr. Robot. Yeah, great show, you should watch it. It's essentially Fight Club for TV, but it's really cool. I'm a little bit of a fanboy, and one of the characters actually said this line that every hacker has a fixation. You hack people, which is Elliot, and that hacker hacks time. And I think that quote can be applied to marketing in the sense that you can hack together systems that get you results, and you can help execute, help you execute faster than your competition. And when you're starting a small company and you're working on a small business, you literally have only your creativity and you have creativity, you have limited resources, and you have time. And the way you're going to execute a lot quicker, get results a lot quicker than big companies is actually if you use certain techniques and systems to help you get there. Sorry, you think how? Marketing. So how do you do that? Yeah, I honestly think of the last 5 years doing courses, I did one course I did with Squared Online, a bunch of courses, work with different people, meet different marketers from different industries, whether it's for tech companies, fashion companies, and different other areas as well. I honestly believe that marketing is 90% execution, 10% ideas, and the only way you're gonna get there is your mindset. If you operate from an open mindset and you think that anything can be hacked, and what I mean by hack is that anything can be altered in a way that favors you as a business, that gives you way more confidence than everyone else out there. Like a dirty secret is like most marketers in the UK are, pardon my French, shit. Because they're not operating from the mindset that anything's fair game. They're very constricted in terms of like, oh, we're only going to use TV ads, we're only going to use YouTube ads, we're only going to use print magazines, and even standard to reach our customers. There are so many channels and ways for you to reach your target audience. You just have to figure out where they are and how to reach them, and actually offer them something of value for them to actually connect with you. And once you form that emotional connection, therefore you're able to do whatever you want basically. Because once you have a small amount of people, let's say 1,000, 10,000 people, and our customers really care about what you're trying to do, or what mission you're trying to build as a company, or what product you're trying to sell, like that's all you need in today as well, because that's your word of mouth. And no matter what, word of mouth is the most powerful thing. Even in today when you could like live stream yourself dropping out of a freaking spaceship. So yeah, so keys to modern marketing. I'll definitely say, like I said, mindset and speed. You definitely have to think long term, but also you have to act in short term. So right now, there's a bunch of stuff going on, whether it's AI is pretty hot right now, you've got VR, live streaming, podcasts. Does anyone listen to podcasts? No one listens to podcasts. What? Jesus, whoa, Jesus.
What is a podcast?
My mind's going. Seriously? Okay, essentially a podcast is like it's a radio show essentially, but it's a conversation more like it. And it's typically between one person, well, 1 to 2 people, it could be even more people. But yeah, literally, what famous, like, Joe Rogan is a bit too popular. Well, Gary Vaynerchuk has a podcast. So basically, essentially just like a conversation that's recorded on audio. It's like if you, pretty sure most people have iPhones, like if you download the podcast app and you just go to the store, you see a bunch of podcasts. So you got sports ones, entertainment, business, and essentially that's the new way of reaching people. Like radio is dead when it comes to advertising. Like it's cheap for you to use radio to reach particular audiences. But it is cheap. Like if you want to run a radio ad, like it's certain regions in the UK, it's actually more effective than actually doing an online ad, but with certain regions. But with podcasting, because it's such an intimate conversation, you as a listener, you're coming back let's say you listen to the podcast every once a week. You can listen to that podcast for an entire year. You build a relationship with that person. You build a commonality within the speaker, whether a guest comes on that show, and typically most companies receive a lot of like return investment if they do promote their products. So one example I know of is this bed company called Casper in America. They started to advertise their beds with certain really popular podcasts in the US, and they actually got, I think, a 3,000 return on investment just by doing all the podcast advertising alone. And they're a startup. All they did was basically go to a podcast, said, here's a discount code, give it to your audience, just read it at the beginning of the show, read it at the end of the show. Obviously, you care about who you're listening to every single week, and if, like, let's say you're Christian to the podcast, and like, I really like Christian, I'm like, hey, he's offering me this discount, I'll check it out. Enter the discount code, you get a bunch of sales for the company, so everyone wins. The podcaster wins, and you win. Definitely, if you don't listen to podcasts, you should definitely have a look. It is cool, and there's a bunch of so new things that happen in robotics, drones, bots, virtual assistants, and these are all new ways of promoting business and reach a new audience. And that's definitely a key to keep an eye on. And everything's always changing, so some channels, don't worry about copying this down, like I'll give you the slides at the end, so. Another key to marketing is data. I can't preach this enough. If you don't measure it, it doesn't get managed. It's simple as that. Quite a lot of small businesses, they're not aware of all the free tools that are out there for you to actually measure the performance. So for example, I mentioned I joined a publishing company, which was 2013. So I joined a company and they hadn't actually installed Google Analytics. Does anyone know Google Analytics? So essentially it's a tracking software, free tracking software you can put on your website. They didn't do that. And so when I came in the first week, I said, okay, so what's the website performance over the last year or two? And they just looked at me like, what? I'm like, so you haven't tracked your website for the last 2 years? Nope. So you have to be quite aware that if you are going to work at a small business or do any consulting for them, they might themselves are not aware of the free tools available to actually track their performance. So literally that could be an easy win for you. You come in and say, hey, install some Google Analytics, track the performance, and say, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we can improve, and this is how we can move forward. For example, that example I mentioned there, number of leads generated per pricing guide. At Black Curve, we're a pricing startup, and we do quite a number of pricing guides to get some leads in. So for example, we will set up a ultimate guide to discounting. So we have the landing page, we have a sign up form, says enter your information, download the form. Well, enter your information in the form, you get a free guide. That's a way of us collecting leads. And the way I measure performance is not only the amount of sign-ups we get, or the amount of leads we get, and obviously from that I can obviously track how many customers we get per pricing guide. So I could go to my manager and say, okay, this pricing guide is doing really well, we should really do like a paid advertising campaign to promote that a little bit more, or this was not doing that well, maybe we need to improve the copy on the landing page, so on and so forth. Whether you're using Google Analytics, Amplitude is another one you can use. You have to understand what's happening. It's very easy to get intimidated by all the data and all the metrics you get from all these platforms. But at the end of the day, I'll talk about this later on. You just need to focus on a key metric. So like one particular stat to help you guide you at the current stage of the company. So not every company needs to be focused on every single thing that comes out of our analytics dashboard, because A, you're wasting time, B, you want to focus on the 2-3 things that can really drive growth for your company, and that's what it's focused on. Awesome book that outlines this is Lead Analytics. It is, bar none, the one book every single marketer I know that is good. That is the book on analytics they talk about, and it's really easy. It's like about 100 pages. And it breaks it down for different. So you've got software, you've got e-commerce, you've got industries. So even like brick and mortar industries as well. It's got all the analytics you need to know, what you need to track. So it gives you literally a framework for you to understand this is what you need to be tracking right now, and don't worry about the rest of the stuff. So that's definitely a good read if you have time. What's that? Yeah. So yeah, that's actually started from Lead Analytics. And essentially, when I mentioned about different stages, so this is your growth rate. So as you start, you're literally trying to scale up. Then you get revenue. Then you get virality depends on what type of product you're doing. Some products lend themselves to be more viral. Like for example, a game app might be very viral, but if I'm trying to sell you jeans, that might not be viral. And then you have stickiness when your customers actually really love it. And then obviously you have to operate from a point of empathy. So you have different stages and also different metrics for each stage. So when I mention like different metrics, so if I want to acquire customers, my metrics would be different if I want to activate customers than if I want to retain them, get referrals, get revenue, and build attention on scale. So the book dives way more into this, but this is just a general overview. And the really good thing about it is that it tells you exactly what to do, and you don't have to like bother about all the stuff that's not really relevant. Cool. Other key to marketing. Always be learning. I am pretty much that little kid. I wish I could have better Photoshop skills to put my face on there. Always would be learning. Like, and that is another thing why I say a lot of marketers in the UK are shit, because they have this ego complex that they don't want to learn. To be honest with you, because I didn't do marketing at university, I didn't come with it as like a career. I always operate from the place that I am an outsider. So therefore, I have to continue to sharpen my skills. I have to continuously do courses. I have to go to different networking events, different seminars, groups, to keep improving my skill set to stay ahead. Because people who graduate from university, not even graduate from university, like once they're 2-3 years into the job, they think they know everything. They start going to courses. And literally, I have a marketing friend of mine. I went to a course not too long ago, and it's like, mate, you've been doing this for 5 years. Why do you need to go on a course? Like, and I told them straight up, like, if I stop learning, I'm not going to improve as a marketer. I'm going to be less valuable to my company. And if you're less valuable, why would the company keep you around? So there's many ways you can learn. So obviously, community, side projects, audiobooks, seminars on YouTube, all the stuff. Speaking of side projects, this is, if anyone wants to learn coding, this is probably the best resource to do it. It's called FreeCodeCamp. It's like online platform for you to learn coding at your own pace. I did that last year. I got like a certificate at the end of it. Really good. It's all project based as well, because I knew I had to understand coding, even though that's not my job whatsoever. But the way the workplace is moving, and plus I joined the tech startup. At least I'm able to like communicate with our developers and say, hey, this isn't working. Our customer said this. Our website's down. How can I fix it on my own before I go to my developer? That makes you 10 times more valuable than anyone who's not doing it. And it's not just coding itself. There could be plenty of things. It could be design. It could be podcasting. It could be live video. There's way like many channels for you to learn when it comes to marketing. And yeah, so once you get a baseline in terms of your mindset, you operate from speed, and also you're always learning. Yeah, you need technical and emotional skills, and it's very hard to get, like, honestly, you don't need to pressure yourself to get all of them at the same time. I myself, I'm still learning more on the technical side and more on the emotional side, but you always have to combine both, because at the end of the day, like, even if you're using, I don't know, using Google AdWords or Facebook ads or Instagram ads or YouTube ads to reach your audience, if you can't evoke emotion in someone, why should someone care about your product? Why should they care about you? And why should they even give you their hard-earned money? Like, for example, if I'm trying to sell you a polo shirt and I create a shitty ad, would you buy it? No, exactly. Like you want to create something that appeals to your key audience and invokes an emotion. And emotions can be good or bad, but as long as you evoke something and they really care about what you're trying to promote, and they'll probably buy into what you're trying to do. And yeah, in the slides I linked to a post which has 7 different marketing skills, technical marketing skills, and I did that over a year's basis. So like A/B testing, data analysis, SQL, what other was there? Yeah, and a bit of coding as well. I did that over a year, so if I could do it, anyone could pretty much do it. And yeah, I think it's really important that you combine both of them, because too many people are lopsided. Some people could like literally hack into your university right now if everyone wanted to, but they have no emotional skills whatsoever, and they're not able to communicate and promote a product. But some people are really creative and like really focused on like building brands and stuff, but don't have no technical skills to actually create stuff as they go along. And I think that's definitely the market, gap in the market that people can fill. So yeah, just to recap, mindset is 90%. Move fast and break things comes from Facebook. That's essentially true when you're working at small companies, because you have less hierarchy, less yes man, and less bureaucracy to have to go through. So literally, you can test things out as you go along, and like if you mess up, mess up. As long as you don't like destroy the company, you should be fine. And yeah, what measures gets managed, and always be learning, and get technical and emotional skills more than anything. Should be fine. And cool. Any questions? Oh, this is the first segment.
You ask questions at this point. There's loads more of this.
Can you give an example where you've moved fast and broke things along the way?
So many.
Is this more to do with like social media kind of?
Oh, it's to do with everything.
Tactics
It's to do with anything.
Yeah.
I can tell you. So when I was working at a publishing events company, we had a big event. So primarily their key audience was actually promoted to teachers. So this it's called Foreign Business Media, and essentially they run training courses for teachers, doctors, and different public sector industries. And they had their biggest conference of the year. They were supposed to like make a lot of money, and I had to. It was literally my second week working there, and I had to quickly. My boss was going on holiday, and I said, "Don't worry, I'll handle sending out like emails to like hundreds and hundreds of people, easy." So at the time, I was learning this new email software. It's called Destra, and I thought I was being really slick. So I said, let me get this done really quickly. So I sent out a bunch of emails, and I thought everything was fine. And then I got into work the next day and realized I sent the wrong link to the form. I sent a link to the previous event from last year. So a lot of people were confused. Obviously, an email with my boss who was on holiday. So like I messed up. I owned it, but I was able to fix it really quickly because I was able to test things out on my own. And that's the thing. Like when you start a new job, obviously you're scared that you're not going to ruin it. Whether it's like a consultant gig or like working at a startup or even a big company. But at the same time, you have to operate from advantage of speed, because most people are going to be dragging their feet. Oh, I want to take my time with it. This is that. Like being perfect in today's world doesn't really mean anything. It's about being fast, and that's definitely one example. Another example is when I started at Black Curve, we tried to do like because we're a pricing company. We tried to do like an idea of like asking customers to pay what they want for our software, which sounds great. Like you're asking your audience, hey, how much should you actually pay for this? Only it completely flopped. So it completely flopped. I was like, oh crap. But at the same time, at least I know now that probably not the best way to get some community feedback. There's other ways you can do that, and actually from that mishap, we've actually improved our referral system, which we're going to launch in September. Where basically we will give particular discounts if customers can get a few of their friends to sign up to our service on an annual basis. We actually give them like 20% off. That's something we do. But at least if I did that initial experiment, it failed, but I've learned it, I've documented that. So in case anyone else wants to do a similar thing in the company, they know, okay, don't do that, but here's what you've learned from it. And that's really important as you go through different companies. Like a lot of companies, they don't document their failings. They only want to talk about the good stuff and like, oh, this worked, this is fantastic, we made so much money. But if you know where companies messed up, you can actually not repeat that mistake and obviously waste your own time and resources. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Cool. Any other? Sure.
For like a fashion business, what sort of growth hacking tools would you suggest?
Oh boy, you should have told me that. So what sort of fashion?
So I've just recently started a gender neutral fashion startup called something, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Just making pieces for both male and female.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's pretty,
Are you on Instagram?
yeah.
There is this software. Well, this company actually, you can outsource your probably shouldn't tell you this, but I'll tell you this anyway. Especially when it's being recorded. There is this website called Growth Pub. Growth, normal growth, and PUP. And you basically sign up for a month. You log into your website, and you enter in 10 or 15 different brands that are similar to what you're doing. And basically, through their algorithm, they're able to find the audience of those brands, go to their pages, like, I think on average 10 to 15 of that person's or their most popular fans who are more likely to like your stuff back, like all of their all of their photos. They will come back to your page and they'll follow you. They'll reciprocate that for you. So not only you're growing up your follow count, also you're growing up your engagement as well. Because see, the thing about Instagram for the last year, Facebook has basically made it the mini Facebook. Obviously they've copied Snapchat to the death, like us, which is hilarious in itself. But because of that, there's certain ways of you like gaming the algorithm. If you're able to show like your posts are getting way more engagement, but also increasing your follow count, like you have the economies of scale of, like if you get to like 5,000, let's say if you get to like 5,000 followers, it's literally going to be like hundreds every single day that's going to be added. Especially within fashion, like the best things that I do really, really well on Instagram, to be quite crude, is sex, fashion, and food. To be honest with you, and cars. Yeah, I think cars as well. And entrepreneurship actually, yes, those 5. Yeah. So that you've got that working for you, that you got a product that has that variety to it. So all you have to do is basically document your story and promote obviously your brand as well. But most importantly, your story and like obviously the cool filters and stuff that I don't even know that much about Instagram, but yeah, Growth Pup is definitely a good way to get started with that. And I know if you sign up for Growth Pup, you've got a 3-day trial. I have a discount code that could get you 90% off it. So just let me know and I'll have my email at the end, so drop me an email and I'll send it to you. Any other questions?
Which emotions do you think are the most powerful in terms of when you evoke these emotions? Which emotions are the most powerful?
Depends what you're trying to promote. What would you see? If I was a politician, 100% I'm leaning into fear, because fear is just a very powerful emotion. People don't admit it, but it's true. It's a negative emotion, but it's very powerful. You got fear. Everyone familiar with FOMO?
Fear of missing out.
Yeah, fear of missing out. That's one that's really powerful, especially with like young brands that are trying to target millennials. You got envies. No, so you got fear. You got FOMO is another one. You've got greed. FOMO.
What's that?
Fear of missing out. Essentially that's fear basically.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's fear.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah. FOMO. That's the one. That is basically based around fear.
Okay.
Greed is a very powerful emotion. If you could show someone, like, is everyone familiar with second?
I said these are really negative.
Well, obviously happiness as well. Happiness as well. Like you said powerful. You didn't say like you have to be good or bad. But no, like yeah. I think fun obviously is a good one. Happiness is a good one as well. Yeah.
You're about to explain greed.
Oh, greed. Oh, like it's simple. Like if you see like you guys, is anyone familiar with Ty Lopez or Dan Bilzerian?
Oh yeah,
Dan Bilzerian, like, it's greed. Like he's got freaking guns everywhere, money everywhere, models everywhere. Everyone's like, they won't admit it. They're liking the freaking photos. Like people are like, oh, I hate this Dan Bilzerian guy, but when they go home at night, they're liking the photos because it's like you're projecting your life. That's how your life would like to be. Even though obviously you obviously don't want to become like a crazy person with guns everywhere. But at the end of the day, like you're projecting what your life to be. So therefore, yeah, it's a lifestyle thing. So you think, oh, that's a really cool lifestyle. I like that. So that's how you like refer to it. So like that's a very powerful emotional. But again, I always focus, like, you want to focus your brand or company around emotions that are applicable to you. So if I work at a tech startup, I'm not going to be like all like crazy stuff around fear and stuff. Doesn't really fit in. Like, we want to focus on emotions that help you improve yourself, better yourself. So look into more like positive emotions. That's the sort of thing we do for our company at Bar. That's what I do for our company. So it just depends on what you're trying to promote, to be honest, essentially. But yeah, but if you're a politician, like, there's so many ways you can like get the system. That's a lot of conversation. Any other questions at the moment? Yeah.
What sort of marketing do you specialize in for that company?
That's actually a good question. A bit of everything, to be honest. There's two sort of marketers. So you've got some marketers are very specialized. So they either do paid ads on social, so whether it's on Google AdWords, Facebook, all the rest of it. And you have marketers who, like myself, like a bit of everything. Because I came into marketing not really with one defined skill set. So I had to do email marketing in my first job. I had to do Google AdWords. Right now, I do a bunch of stuff. So I do blogging. So I do blogging, email marketing, social. What else I do? Do a bunch of partnerships. So a lot of a little bit of business, like essentially. So you partner up with different brands and different companies as well, which is a whole other kettle of fish. What else I do? I'm trying to think now. A little bit of growth hacking, so a bit of everything, of data as well. So it's just so many things that come into it. But because I've moved from different industries, I can't get stuck with one particular skill set. Because that's the thing with some companies, they might send a job description, we need someone to do email marketing, but you might be working there and think, wait a minute, why don't we test out this new marketing channel instead of being focused on one thing? And that's essentially, I think a lot of companies don't realize, if you can run a little test for a month or two on a marketing channel, get some good results, then you could go to your boss and say, hey, I've got crazy results using email marketing for this campaign, maybe we should allocate some more results to this. He can't deny you because you've delivered the results are positive. And because you really went to test it, see how it goes, it gives you more cachet with him, because he says, okay, you are someone who goes out on their own, takes initiative, gets stuff done, and you made my job and made me look way better. Bonus! That's essentially what it is. But I hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, there we go. Cool. So, Chris actually proposed this question to me. What marketing strategies are cost effective? And answer to that is growth hacking. It really is. Growth hacking. Essentially it was a term coined by Sean Ellis. Sean Ellis is a very renowned growth hacker. He actually published a book this month. And the reason why he's renowned, he worked at a bunch of companies. I think he was a part of the growth team at Facebook. He worked at a few other companies that have done really well. The names are escaping right now. And essentially it is someone who does growth hacking. He's a growth hacker. And he says growth hacker is a person whose true north is growth. So every strategy, tactic, campaign is focused on growth. And that's essentially what a growth hacker is. It's different from traditional marketing, because some marketers, they might essentially do like stuff that focuses promoting the brand. If you hear the brand a lot, like you need to slap them out. Essentially then, like they're basically promoting like certain ethos and values of companies. Like for example, I worked at a private arts university, and they were mainly focused around fashion and design as their main course areas. And there was stuff that my company was doing about like spending £100,000 on a fashion show. And I thought, we could spend so much more money, we take all this money, put it into our Google AdWords and get way more students in. But that's actually taught me a real good lesson. Some companies are more focused on like building the brand, so you probably will have to invest all that money into that. But as a growth hacker and someone who employs growth hacking tactics, you have to focus on growth. If it's not growing, just kill it or pause it. And that's essentially the ethos that you have to operate. I can't go to my boss and say, oh yeah, I helped grow the company 1% this year, so can we talk about like, you know, extra money in my bank account? You'd probably tell me to get out the door. Because you have to always operate, especially in startup and small businesses. If you could grow quickly, you could earn more money, you could raise more money if you want to, and it gives your company a better fighting chance against the big incumbents in your industry. And yeah, so incremental gains, focus on periods of time, compounded over a period of time lead to exponential growth. But if you're growing between 5 to 10% every single week, compound over 52 like over an entire year, that's a lot. And even if you add it over a 5-year period, that's even a lot. You don't have to keep on growing every single week, but as long as you're trending in the right direction, you'll grow way faster than most companies. And the whole process essentially is rapid experimentation across a number of channels. So I'll get on the channels in a bit of in a sec. And essentially the reason why you test out a bunch of channels to see what works. In total, there's 19 marketing channels that are well known and well established at the moment. You probably won't need to use all of them, but if you're able to run little tests here and there to see, okay, let's do an email marketing campaign, let's do a paid social advert campaign, or let's do some business development stuff to get going. You can use that to your advantage, but as long as you keep experimenting with them, you can see what gets results for your company. And it can be cost effective. You don't need to run experiments for that long. typically a month or 2 weeks is enough to get this inside sample size for you to double down on. Don't let it run for more than a month because I don't know, most companies' resources obviously vary. And yeah, so big companies. So Uber, I found a dirty story about Uber recently. So I was at this company called Growth Tribe. They are basically a growth hacking agency that teaches growth hacking courses. So I went to one of their courses in March, and one of the speakers said that it was confirmed that basically it was a growth hacking story that was kind of going around for a while, that Uber basically screwed over Lyft in America. So the story is that I think Uber called and cancelled 100,000 Lyft rides in San Francisco in one day. Because obviously you have a certain period where you can cancel a ride and you don't have to charge for it. And that kind of screwed over Lyft for that particular day. And it basically, I heard a rumor, and other people mentioned the rumor, but what someone from Uber London was actually at this particular course and confirmed that that actually happened. But the comment to that is that Uber has been expanding in India, and one of Uber's competitors in India did that to Uber, and it was 400,000 rides were cancelled on by an Indian competitor of Uber's in one day. So literally they had people call Uber and cancel them. Of course India's like what 1.6 billion people, or about 400,000 people. You can imagine the cost to Uber. So that's another way you can screw over competition. Another one is Airbnb. Another one is Airbnb. So when Airbnb was starting out, it took them a while to get going actually. I think it was more than 18 months. They weren't getting any growth whatsoever. So they thought, okay, how can we... So when I mentioned before about knowing your audience and knowing how to target them, operating from a mindset that's a little bit more open, they thought, okay, how can we actually grow Airbnb? Like, we got some customers, they love what we're doing, but what we need to grow to get more, raise more money to build a company. So they thought, how can we do this? They're like, okay, if we go to Craigslist, people list their rooms on Craigslist, right? So at the time, Craigslist, well, I think this was back in around 2010. I think 2009, 2010 this actually happened. So they were trying to grow, and said, okay, our customers, people who actually want to use our service, are on Craigslist. So how can we get to Craigslist customers? So basically, what they did, Craigslist had an API. So API is essentially is a way for companies to build products on your platform. So every major tech company has them. But what they didn't realize is that, at least Craigslist didn't realize, is that Airbnb was able to hack a script that basically got the contact information of all the people who were listing their apartments and houses on Craigslist, got that information and emailed them a discount code for Airbnb, and be able to get I think 10,000 customers. And obviously you can think about it. You think about the long. I think it's called lifetime value of a customer. For Airbnb, that must be really high because you can imagine how much bookings you can get for your place, and that's how they were able to steal customers as well. Another one, Tinder. Tinder wanted to reach when they were starting out in the US. They wanted to reach a college audience. So for them, the best way to do that was actually not to do anything online, just to go straight into the source. So essentially, they went to all the major universities in the US. The most popular ones in the, top 25 universities. Went to them, I went to all the sororities. Is anyone familiar with the concept of a sorority? So went to the sorority leaders, ladies, and said, hey, we want everyone in your sorority to list on Tinder. And they paid them, they actually paid them money to do this. So they paid them a bunch of money, got a bunch of sorority ladies to be on Tinder. I went to all the frat houses and said, hey, we're sorority people in university on this app, you should download the app. And obviously Tinder just basically took off from there basically. And BuzzFeed as well, they did some funky stuff, and Spotify, and even Facebook has done some growth hacking. I think Facebook, when it comes to growth hacking, they're number one, and every link you get in these slides, it links to a well-described growth hacking guide. The reason why I say Facebook is one, obviously they've grown to be freaking huge, but they operate from the ethos of when I mentioned they move fast and break things. That statement, it comes from them basically. They didn't give a crap about anything. They've done some not, you can say dodgy stuff. I say to grow. But like it's just like because it's such a. Obviously, don't end up in jail. I'm not saying that to anyone. That's on video. But at the same time, there's a lot of grey area. So it depends on what your company's trying to promote and what your company's trying to sell. Your competition's not thinking like that. That's how you're gonna get ahead of your competition, especially in today's world where everything is like two for now. Cool. And I mentioned lifetime value. That is the one key thing I always adhere to at every single company I work at, because I've worked at mostly small companies my entire working career in terms of the marketing positions. Like your lifetime value has to be higher than cost per acquisition. So your cost per acquisition basically means how much does it cost you to acquire one customer. Let's say for example, for your fashion brand, like you know if you have a customer, they're with you for 5 years, and on average they spend about let's say $250 a year. Let's bump a little bit more. Let's say 500. I don't know the price points. Let's say they spend $200 to $500 a year. So you got a customer, 5 years, $500 a year. But then if you're acquiring your customer for literally £100 for each one of them, that's expensive. But if you could acquire your customer for half of that, you're basically onto a winner, because like whatever channel you're acquiring them from, you could double, rest even more money to that channel, whether it's Instagram ads or Facebook ads, and drive them, because you know you're gonna make way more money off them. And obviously, it depends on what product you're promoting and selling, but that helps you keep your budget in line. And if you realize in a particular channel is costing you way more money, just cut it off. So an example that I actually found and what led me to this realization was when I joined Foreign Business Media, which is a publishing company. Joined the company, and I realized they were running Google AdWords, which is alright. They're doing well. They're doing sort of well. But I looked into how much it was costing to acquire customers. So I think the value of one customer was about at that time was about 50. But for Google AdWords, they were paying about £80 per lead. And like the conversion rate was terrible on its own, so it's like a 1% conversion rate. Like that, they're just pissing away money. And eventually I found out they probably spent like £80,000 and they just pissed down the drain, which I was able to stop immediately as soon as I was. But then coming to that realization helped me find the plugs that they were wasting money on. So I was able to stop that for that company. And yeah, so you have to understand your company's LTV and CPA. And if you have a channel that's working really well for you, you add more resources and time to it. Yeah, so after all, you want to spend, you want to have a great idea to spend time money on, to create a customer base, and yeah, you want to focus on channels that work for you and not expensive. That's me. Some people get married to the idea that one particular channel is the only channel they have to use. You have to really look at the cost, especially when you work with small businesses, because it is very expensive trying to build a bunch of marketing channels with limited resources. Yeah. Here's actually, who's got a computer? So yeah, this is an example of like, growth hacking essentially. So basically you need to find your audience. Let's say I'm trying to launch a food app. And I know my main competitor in London, which is where I live, is Deliveroo. So if I want to find out their audience, can I actually show if I can?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
sweet potato. So,
you're using Google Slides.
what?
You're using Google Slides.
Say, man, it's free.
I'm
cheap till I fucking die.
So here's a website, SimilarWeb. So it helps you find information about companies, whether it's a competitor or a company you might want to partner up with. So for example, I said Deliveroo. So I just type in Deliveroo.co.uk. So as a food tech startup, I want to see where they're getting their traffic from, so I could piggyback on their audience, most importantly. So yeah. So I know that's how many visits they're getting. Yeah, that's how many visits they're getting a month to the website. So I know that many pages, bounce rate, that's not really important, but like that is important because it gives you a gauge to see where you need to like aim for and gives you a benchmark. It's there as well, breaks it down, different countries where their traffic is coming from, so it sources it out. And all of this is free. No charge. If you need to do it for any company, you go ahead. Some companies' information might not appear because they don't have enough website traffic, so just be aware of that. But here's where it gets interesting. So, because I'm a food tech startup, I'm seeing, okay, they get on a lot of direct traffic means there are a lot of links on other websites that are pointing to Deliveroo, which is good for me because I might be able to put my content on those websites to get traffic from them to me. Referrals is number one. Search is that people are searching for delivery services. Social, explanatory, email, and display. Don't care about display. Display is dead, in my opinion. Reason for that is that everyone's got ad blockers, and the conversion rate from display ads is literally. Apparently, you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning. Like, I think that's changed. I think it's gotten actually worse since then. Yeah, like don't piss off money against the wall. Like, forget display, it's useless. But referral was great because I could see what websites are leading to Deliveroo and what websites are going from Deliveroo. So I can see, okay, some people coming to Deliveroo and going to Netflix. That's interesting. Or some people going to Deliveroo and going to YouTube. That could be interesting. I could do some ads around there. Or even Five Guys, I might partner up with them. Or I might partner up with Wagamama or Pizza Express. So as a food tech startup, if I'm delivering stuff, oh, the top one.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you might get some weird ones there, don't pay in mind. But all those companies that just appeared there, I might just go to them and say, hey, I'm a food tech startup. I know you're doing some work with Deliveroo. I could give you a decent rate. And that's how you get growth from customers immediately for doing basically something that's completely free. And what else is on the bad boy? And then search as well, gives you indication where they're spending their money. So all of that is organic. And to be fair, you really want to get that ratio. So between that amount of organic traffic and then paid traffic. You do want to do some paid ads for SEO, which is alright. But organic traffic is good because it's free, and that's what we're going to go for, essentially. And that's about it. Social is interesting as well because it gives you a breakdown of each social network which they're getting most of their traffic from. So of that percentage, they're getting most of their stuff from Facebook. So maybe I might do some advertising to piggyback on that. YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. Obviously, I don't see much delivery stuff on LinkedIn, which is fair. So yeah, I might do some ads around that, just trying to see if I can steal some of their audience and come to my food tech startup basically. Cool. That's about it. Yeah, display. We talk about display crap. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Is that like information on free? Is that information like, is it all like?
Single.
Yeah, can you just get on?
Yeah, it's free, completely
Okay.
free. Yeah. Don't sign up for their pay plan. No, I've done a trial on their pay plan. It's not really useful.
Yeah.
It's just for you to like understand where your competitors stand and you have a benchmark. Because it's really hard when you're building a company or working for a small company. Some might turn to you and say, oh, how are we doing in comparison to everyone in our industry? And you have no idea.
Yeah.
So that's just a good reference point to check out to see, okay, this is where we at. You know, this is where we need to go basically. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty much what I just ran through. Yeah, cool. And yeah, this bad boy is amazing. If there's one book, actually, I told you about Lean Analytics is another book. This is the book that I think everyone should have, whether you do marketing or not. It is the best approach to growth experiments. It has 19 different marketing channels, and the bullseye framework helps you prioritize what experiments you're going to run across those channels. You don't need to do every single experiment in one go. You can literally pick a month. Let's say this month I want to do paid ads, so I might do some stuff on Google AdWords. Or next month I want to do some stuff around email marketing. Well, month after that I want to do some stuff around content marketing. So literally you space out a bunch of experiments over a year, 18 months, and it gives you a framework that helps you prioritize that. Is essentially amazing because some channels are going to be really effective, at least initially, but some other channels want to position later on. So the bullseye framework is really helpful. And I think at the end of the lecture, I'll give one of you a chance to win a free copy of it. I have a spare in my house, so I know I'm weird. I have 2 copies of that book. That is a bit weird. But these are different marketing channels you can use. So you've got viral marketing, PR. Unconventional PR is like different practical stunts. Is anyone familiar with TransferWise?
What?
TransferWise. So TransferWise is a company you go to if you want to do if you want to exchange some money. It offers really good rates essentially, and the way they were able to build a lot of buzz around them, they did a lot of stunts against banks. So has anyone been around Liverpool Street? We come out Liverpool Street as a big RBS building. So they did a couple of stunts there. They hired a bunch of actors to go naked, well not naked, but like in their underwear from the building. Had some news camera crews show up and say some weird people outside of RBS, and basically the co-founder was in the middle of that in his underwear saying, yeah, banks will actually rip you off naked when it comes to their currency exchange rates, so why don't you sign up for TransferWise? And people might think that might not work. It depends on obviously one product and what industry you're working in, but because of these weird stunts, they were able to build up enough awareness, and apparently they are £1 billion company. They only started about, I think 2011, maybe 2010. Not only just stunts, but like so they did some of this stuff. You got search engine marketing, which is essentially Google AdWords, social ads, which is obviously ads you see on Facebook, LinkedIn, all the rest of it. Offline ads, you got radio ads, billboards can be effective as well. SEO, it's just improving in search optimization, which is a bunch of stuff you can do around that. Content, email, engineering as marketing is one that I think people need to do more of. So essentially what that means is that if I create a, I'm trying to think now, really good one. Like if I was to create, an app that calculates your costs as being a student, let's say if I'm, let's say if I'm a bank and I want to get a bunch of students to sign up for my student bank account. Way of doing that is basically I create a website that has a free tool for people to calculate their expenses as a student. That's great for you because you get value out of it. You get able to calculate how much you're going to spend over the entire year. But at the end of it, the bank gets your email address so they can email you follow up that say, hey, we saw you use your tool. We saw you use our tool. Here's some more information about if you actually want to save up for a house or save up for stuff on the back of that. And that's the area that most companies are not using. But I know one company called Hotspot. They use a marketing persona form created on a website. It's basically 10 questions filled out, got some information about marketing personas, and they were able to get like 10,000 leads of that pretty easily and pretty cheaply as well. It's just literally an online form. So target market blogs is another thing that I've actually used a lot recently. If you're operating in industries that are quite niche and quite small, your best bet of actually reaching an audience that will probably like your content is to reach out for particular blogs who already producing that content. Like for us, I joined in September Black Curve. We had no partnerships going on initially, but I reached out to all the major players, all the different pricing organizations in the US and UK, and we've established links with them. And just through me, not harassing, but just sending many emails, I was able to get strike some partnership deals. So basically I got my CEO to do a bunch of podcasts with them. I reposted some of the content on our website, and we were able to get like double our referral traffic just because we were strategic about who we targeted. And you've got biz dev, sales, affiliate marketing, is mainly to do around blogs, it's existing platforms, it's basically different networks and forums that your audience might be lurking in. Like there's a number of pricing groups on LinkedIn that I've targeted, that we've promoted some of our content to, which done really well. There might be certain forums that whoever you're trying to target might be staying around as well. Trade shows are, that's the one thing I do want to take off this list. Like events is good if you are going to, if the attendees are very, if the attendees are your target market. Events can be very distracting, in my opinion. Trade shows can be very distracting. Because it's just so, like, for example, has anyone been to like the business show in Excel? No? No one? Okay. So business show in Excel is like literally a 3-day conference, bunch of companies advertising. You've got your massive like FTSE 100 companies and your small companies there. If I'm a small company, why would I go to a conference when you've got like literally like Microsoft or Intel who have massive stands, getting all the people going to their stands because they're giving out freebies,
but I've literally spent £5 to be in a corner. It's not really cost effective. One, I'm not really reaching my target audience. Two, and you can allocate that resources to a bunch of other channels as well. And offline events are really good, as long as they target audience. And you've got speaking engagements. Speaking actually is something that people, I think, in general, it's the marketing, and also speaking engagements is something that I think people are not utilizing a lot more, because the more, as much as we think technology is separating us, there's certain basic principles that are still relevant today. Like, you're always going to respect someone who's in a police uniform, even though they might not be a policeman, or a doctor who's in a doctor's coat because they're a doctor. It's this way we believe we conform to certain social norms, and anytime you have a speaker, you're more likely to take them seriously because they're the ones speaking, they're the ones listening to them. Like, for example, I know a friend of mine, he runs his social media agency, he's doing a lot more speaking gigs, and he says all his customers, and he typically charges within 50k, 50k starting price, well, it's 50k starting package for most of his clients for his agency on an annual basis, and he gets most of the customers from doing like speaking gigs. And speaking gigs are quite easy to do, basically just telling your story gigs as a company, and people are not utilising that more. And community building, it's a bunch of ways you can do community building, offering freebies and like interact with people who really care about your brand. No, sorry, wrong word, your company. So yeah, that's the other thing you do. And yeah, I think essentially the ethos of growth hacking is that things move fast in marketing. Things that might work in the past might not work now. So there's certain growth hacks you might come across that don't really work. Like, for example, you have to take most things you see with a pinch of salt. So I mentioned the Airbnb example about them getting thousands of customers off Craigslist. But Craigslist realized what was going on and I shut them down. So it worked for them, might not work for you. So that's why you always have to be on top of everything that's going on. Certain growth hacks might not work, but at the same time, there might be stuff out there that no one's using that could work for you. And yeah, so tools, integrations can lower costs, so you can spend your money on market channels that work. And yeah, Pirate. Do you want to take a 5-minute break? Yeah, so yeah, just keep moving now. So I mentioned Pirate Lectures before. It's by Dave McClure. He came up with this. Essentially, it's a framework and a funnel for you to be able to track the customer's journey through your company. So there's, I'll show you a little bit later on, but essentially what it is that the metrics are awareness, so raising awareness, driving traffic for your company, acquisition, how you're going to acquire a user, activation, like what is the wow moment for your product or service. So for example, if I'm using Uber, the wow moment is as soon as I log into Uber, I could get 10 different drivers in my local area. Or if it's Domino's, it's literally how many taps I have to press in order for me to order my pizza. Same with Facebook, how many friends I could get, and so on and so forth. Retention is how easy is it for you to keep your users, which is the area most people forget. And that's really important because if you're able to keep your users, you don't have to pay money to get new users, which is obviously more cost effective. Another area is referral, is what is virality for us. So is it natural or artificial? So the reason why this is important is because there are ways for you to generate referrals for your business, very easy ways. So you can offer people discount codes, freebies, gifts, a bunch of stuff. And there's ways you can do that naturally through your product itself. So for example, a way of getting referrals on like the best example, how can I forget this? Is everyone's familiar with Dropbox, right? Yeah. Dropbox. So Dropbox, they knew they had to like get a bunch of users on their platform very quickly because they knew Google was gonna eventually come out with Google Docs essentially. So a way for them to do that, quite artificially, was basically giving a certain amount of space for how many friends you referred. And obviously some people were able to like refer a bunch of people, which is great for Dropbox, but obviously great for you because you get more space on their platform. So there's ways you can do that artificially and naturally. And obviously the most important thing for a company is your revenue. So what is your business model and how can you actually increase revenue? And And essentially, as a customer or a user, you want to go through this entire funnel, which leads us to there. So essentially, that's what it is. As every user, you go through the pirate funnel, and the reason why it's pirate because that acronym is R. Graphic joke. But it's remembering like pirate funnel R, and you think AA, and then obviously AA. So you add awareness, activate, acquisition, activation, revenue, referral. No, sorry, retention, referral, revenue. But that is included inside, so if you need to refer to that again. And yeah, so essentially what you'll be doing with growth hacking is gathering a bunch of ideas to test in order for you to get more customers and users through this funnel. And I mentioned earlier on, there's different analytics you can have in place to track how you're performing on each part of the funnel. So there's certain stuff you track. Awareness is how much traffic we get to the website. Activation, how many people sign up for our app or service. Activation, are they doing a specific thing in our app or service that we know that they actually use in our service? Because it's very easy to get caught up in how much website traffic you have. Very easy. There's certain websites out there that have like millions upon millions and millions of traffic, but don't have no bloody revenue, and that's a waste of everyone's time. But because you have the whole entire funnel, it helps you prioritize, okay, right now, if you're a young company or a small business, they might need some more awareness. So you might want to focus on that part of the funnel, top part. Then eventually you want to focus on, okay, we've got a bunch of traffic now. How can we get them to actually start to use our service? How can we activate them as users? And eventually, you've got enough users and customers. You think, okay, how can we keep these customers on a yearly basis so we can continue to make more money from them? And you think, okay, we've got some really good customers who absolutely, there's always, pretty sure you guys have come across this, like, and you probably have this in your life, there's this like, a company or like your favorite company, you love them so much that you talk to your friend or family about this company. I'm not sure, what's everyone's favorite company at least?
University of Buckingham.
Second? Wait, what? So you might want to talk to everyone, and like you become, as a marketer, that's great because you could turn to these people and say, hey, can you actually refer me to your friends if you love us so much, and like here's a token of appreciation, here's a gift, or here's some like discounts.
250 quid, by the way.
Yeah, if you refer, you get how much?
250 quid.
Yeah, you see?
See exactly works. And obviously revenue, there's many different business models around about pricing and stuff like that, which you use to increase that and obviously get more money for you to get more customers into the funnel. And that's essentially what I do on a daily basis. In all intents and purposes. I'm doing a bunch of stuff to raise awareness for a company. Getting them to sign up for our services, software, sorry. Activate them, get them on a free trial. Retaining them, make sure they renew on an annual basis on a new contract. Referral, asking them if they have anyone else or any other companies who want to use our product. And revenue, it's basically find different ways we can upsell our current customers, whether it's new features you can charge them for, other stuff that you can do basically. And yeah, essentially, as growth hacking, you are gathering ideas and then you rank them using the ICE framework. I've linked to a really good article about that breaks it into way better detail than I would, just because of time purposes. Essentially, the ICE framework is 3 things you rate any marketing idea. Because you're probably going to go work in small companies, big companies. As much as you think you have a big marketing team and you have a lot of resources, you kind of don't, especially when you're just starting out. So you have to prioritize whatever marketing idea you can. So ICE stands for impact, confidence, and ease. So impact, on every single one, the I, E, and the C, you rate out of 10. And the ideas that get the highest is the idea you go forward with, basically. So for example, if I have an idea of increasing website traffic, I know the impact is you're gonna get a bunch of traffic. I rate that at 7. I know the confidence is basically me changing the copy on the website. I can do that pretty easily. And I know I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Sorry, I've got the confidence to do that, and I've got the ease to do that. I have access to the website. I don't need to go to talk to a developer to get that done. So therefore, I should press on with the idea. And yeah, so basically, you gather your ideas, you rank them using the ICE framework, you execute them, and then you analyze the results. And that's the most important bit. You see what worked, what didn't work. So whether you want to spend more time on that particular idea, do rinse, wash, repeat it, and do it again. So basically what you essentially do, you're gathering ideas for each part of the funnel. You execute ideas, see what works, what doesn't work for each stage, and then you move on basically. And there's a bunch of apps that can help to maximize productivity without taking much of your time. Zapier, actually I'll probably show it to you right now. Oh, sorry, what?
I'm just suggesting one of this and that round is like, why?
This is the other side of marketing.
Yeah, the real world of marketing. Cool. So Zapier, essentially what it does, it connects a bunch of apps together. And so for example, if I create a landing page for your fashion brand, I could basically, by using Zapier, so by using Zapier, I'm able to connect different apps together. Let's say I created a landing page for your company, and I want all the people who sign up for that form, the information to go into the spreadsheet. I can automate that by using this. So it saves you time from doing that manually, having to download the list, put it into a spreadsheet again. Literally, as soon as you connect both apps together, it does that for you. So you can focus on more pressing stuff and more creative stuff within your business. So that's one company you can check out. So another one, Basecamp, cool. Basecamp is another one. It's where actually our company does most of our projects on. It's super easy to use, you can manage a bunch of projects on. They've got a really cost-effective plan, so you don't have to blow a bunch of money. So basically it's one place where everyone can do all their projects. So for example, if one person's doing marketing, sales, or different projects within marketing, you can manage that all on Basecamp. And it's super, super easy to use. Literally, I spent an hour to get like up to speed and you're good to go. And from a data perspective, this is the same idea. Where, it's the same thing when I mentioned Zapier. So Zapier connects you to different apps. This connects you to different data apps. So if I'm collecting so this is what it essentially does. Let's say I have a mobile app. I have a website for my app, and obviously I have a server, and I've got cloud apps, whether it's your email, CRM, so on and so forth. Segment acts as a way of connecting all that information to these particular apps, and does that for you quite effectively. Okay. So that's another thing you can try out. Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, sure, fine.
For like, you know those websites that you just showed us for companies and competitors, is there any sort of free website where you can look at like, you know, industry trends, market research, that kind of stuff? Because this kind of research is really expensive.
Yeah, that's the issue. Like most companies now start to realize, wait a minute, before literally, I noticed a change, I think it was 2 years ago. So before you were able to get quite a lot of company research for free, like people just say, hey, sign up with your email address, and then here you go. And a lot of them are starting to charge like £1,000 for a PDF. Depends on what industry though. I think your best bet is to just look at certain websites that just do a lot of, so you could be fashion. So you get like certain websites. I know there's one fashion guy I know that does a lot of research around fashion brands and like how certain brands build. I will need to find him and then email me and I'll send that information to you. When it comes to fashion trends, like your best bet is just to follow the people who write those reports and talk about those companies. So different reporters, like for my Twitter right now is literally 40% reporters in tech because I need to know what's going on. Specific to my industry as well, so pricing people as well, and just journalists. Because journalists, as much as they like to think they're God's gift to earth, they like to like use Twitter to promote themselves. So literally they're just tweeting about their thoughts and like different companies. So I think that's a good place to just connect with people that way, for sure. yeah, most research is very stupidly expensive now. Like even for like a company, like most times they charge you like to 5,000, not 5,000, 500. So yeah, literally 500 pounds for like a 50-page PDF. That's what they charge you for. I'm like, just give it to me for free. But no, any questions? But no, any other questions?
Do you have to keep up to date with the industry trends on social media? Because obviously that's an important part of growth hacking.
It's a segment. There's so many different areas when it comes to growth hacking. Trends on social media. It's pretty. I think you just have to follow the right people. I mentioned this later on in a talk. There's certain groups that you can follow, that you can dive into to see what people are working on. Because like I said before, we've got like marketing's. I haven't realized for the last couple of years, marketing's becoming a lot more specialized.
Yeah.
So you have people who like literally know every single thing about Facebook, all the features, and you want to like follow those people to see what's up. So yeah, you don't have to like read 15 articles and download a bunch of guides to find information. I think that's the best way to do it. Because once you can tap into that person's like network or see what they're tweeting or posting about, you'll be able to be far ahead and efficient when it comes to that particular, whether it's social media or email or whatever channel you're looking after, basically. Any other questions? Sure.
Do you freelance?
Me? No. Freelance. I do help some people out with their projects here and there. It's just a time issue at the moment. Because I'm working in a startup. I'm the only marketing person at my startup. So I'm juggling two things at the moment. I'm juggling building, continuing our marketing efforts. So using email, content marketing, social, advertising. But at the same time, I'm building a lot of partnerships at the moment. Because our product it's an enterprise product. So we have to plug into different enterprise platforms. So I have to like negotiate and like talk with different enterprise platforms at the moment. That's taking a lot of my time because I'm just starting to. It's like with any marketing channel, when you're just starting out, it's a lot of effort. But once you get it up and running, literally you can just like all the apps I've mentioned, you can automate all that stuff so you can focus on starting new channels and stuff like that. But yeah, like working in the startup takes up most of my time to be honest.
How were you able to like really start? Was it just a job advert or was it through like selling ads?
It was funny. Like so I was working for a previous company. I realized that it wasn't going anywhere. And this job advice to anyone: like if you ever work at anywhere, just two reasons why you get a job: you either earn or you learn. If you're not doing either of them, leave. Like don't waste time with anyone. So I realized company wasn't going anywhere. So I was approached by a recruiter actually. I was quite jaded by recruiters, and she said, "Oh, I've got this tech company that wants to talk to you. Waiting for an interview." And it's gotten really well with the founder, basically, to go from there, basically. But I think the reason why my CEO told me, the reason why I got the job in the first place is because I had experience using different marketing channels. Before, like I tried to apply to tech companies before, unsuccessfully, like just got rejected, and no one's really been honest with me. But I think the reason why I pinpointed that is that I didn't have enough experience, one, but two, I didn't have enough like skills. And I hadn't quite like mastered the mindset of like experimenting with different marketing channels. And that's essentially what you need, especially working in a startup, because you never know. The next day, like literally it was a couple of weeks ago, my manager turned around and said to me, "Hey, I need to speak at more events. Could you line something up?" And literally, he just got confirmed yesterday he's going to go to speak at a pricing conference. It's because I just basically figured out, okay, how can I get in touch with event organizers? And because I've done some stuff with events before, I know how exactly how to approach them. And so that's definitely helped me. Like if you make yourself so valuable that your boss will turn to you with any problem, you can find a solution or an idea, like they'll have to fight, like burn you down to get rid of you, basically. Any other questions?
What would you say is the best way to communicate with millennials?
Give them money. Best way. I think the best way is just to be honest, man. Like I think anyone who's millennials
And which channel they mostly receptive to?
Oh, it's an
Social
Instagram.
media.
I'll say, yeah, I think you're right. There. I think you're right. Like the reason why I say I'll back that up is that not only has Instagram basically just ripped off Snapchat and it's just hilarious to me. Not only that is that as a marketer, there's so many ways now. Over the last 6 months alone, from a marketing standpoint, Facebook have essentially what they've done. They've taken the advertising platform and put it onto Instagram. And I can't even tell you, there's so many ways I could target you. Let's say, I know you're into fashion, I know you like particular brands, and I'm actually gonna run you through a way of actually understanding your customers in a bit, as an example. There are ways on Facebook and Instagram you can target someone, literally, you can get down to exactly what they like as an advertiser. That is so powerful, because if you know exactly what a millennial wants, what exactly they like, you can target your ads and reach it in a cost-effective way. And like that is genius for anyone basically. I think Instagram is definitely more effective. Snapchat is effective for certain brands, it might work. But most importantly, you want to be able to tell a honest story. Like young people, and I think most of us now, we know when we've been given a crappy ad. We as soon as we see it, we're like, I don't want to skip, delete, I don't want to see this crap. You want to get rid of it, right? But if you tell a story that's really authentic to what you're trying to do, and people are able to buy into that, I think you could definitely communicate with any not just any young person, any person basically. But
would you suggest, sorry to interrupt, would you suggest there's some promotional stuff they do on Instagram where you can pay like $3 to run your page or someone's homepage for like 3 weeks, for example?
So as in like, are you
business profiles?
Yeah.
They usually have this thing where you can promote your page, and then they'll choose like a post that has the most sort of engagement, and then they'll send it across a certain amount of people.
Depends. It really depends.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to partnerships, you want it to be aligned. Like you want it. So as a tech company, I wouldn't want to partner up with Boohoo. The fact that like. I mean, I wouldn't want to partner up with them because it's just not aligned. But like for example, because we're a pricing company, like there's a lot of like websites that offer pricing scraping. So like say for example you're a trying to figure out. Let's say you're B&Q and you want to find out what quick fix prices are. There's websites you can go to that will scrape all their prices of their websites and give that to you. But then I realized, wait a minute, these guys again, so that's the exact same thing I did, which is what I showed you. I like to always scrape websites. I saw they get a bunch of traffic. So why don't we start partnerships with them and say, hey, whenever a company approaches you about website scraping, maybe they want to approach us about our pricing tool. And that like it makes common sense for both parties. They're able to get a fee if we sign up as a customer. We get customers through them, so everyone works out that way. But yeah, I think you always want to make sure when you're doing any partnership, it's aligned more than anything. Because like you said, like I said before, like anyone these days can see for like like I wouldn't want to see like I don't know like freaking. Buckingham University on my Snapchat, I'd be like, well, that's actually not fair. I wouldn't want to see, that's actually a bad example. I wouldn't want to see like Buckingham University, like, like, I don't know, when I'm watching a Netflix show, like, that's a bit weird. But yeah, you just want to make sure it's all aligned. Because
so basically, no, just in case they promote to someone that doesn't like.
Yeah, you always want to make sure it's mutually beneficial because you like. With partnerships they're really effective, they really are effective because it improves you get their audience and they get your audience, but at the same time certain people you might do these deals with like they are annoying so you have to like chase them up and like if there's money exchange as well they might be less inclined to help you out as well, so yeah, just be aware of that one. Any other questions? Okay, that's fine. Cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know why.
Okay, cool. Cool. Let's keep it going. Let's talk about marketing tools. Tools. Okay, so this bad boy, Marketing Stack, is a curated directory of all marketing tools you pretty much will need, and I'll show you right here. Don't worry, I'll give you the slides so you can actually go back to this in case you Forget. So this is essentially, I know it looks really bad. So essentially you have different categories. Like say for example, I want to find tools that will help me with content marketing. So I go here, and this is a bunch of tools I can use for that particular for this particular category. Some of them might be paid. I'm not exactly sure with all of them, but they offer free plans, and you can honestly create fake accounts to use them again. They will never check out, which is why I do. So you've got this. Honestly, like don't unless it's if you have to pay for any marketing tool, get the company to pay for that crap. Don't ever, or expensive. Don't ever pay for it. Don't.
Is there anything worth paying for?
No. Nah. I'm always getting for free. Cause like you think about this, I've used so many marketing tools. If I had to pay for all of them, I'll be bankrupt by now. So like yeah, just find ways of like maneuvering around that. Let's say I want to do stuff around designs. So if I want to create different mock-ups. I've used Marble before, so that one actually, let's see. So this is a tool for you to create different prototypes. Like say for example, I want to create a new gaming app and I have a designer. I can literally quite easily, they're very easy to use, and they're a UK company based as well. I met the founder of that company. And it's very easy to use. Literally, you sign up to it and you can design, let's say I want to design a gaming app, you can design some mock-ups for your designer, or you can have a designer create an example here so you can actually see what he's trying to create. And that helps you more in terms of your product development. And that's essentially what I've used before for different projects at work and outside of work as well. And it's very cost effective, very cheap actually. So that's one tool you can use. So your marketing stack is amazing. And they're always updating their stuff as they go along. So this is machine number one. Actually, let's see. Yeah, so there's a bunch of tools to help with growth marketing. Funny enough, you see this here, which is don't miss out, subscribe for updates and new resources and tools. So you enter your email, you subscribe. That tool is basically that. So basically you enter in a bit of code, log in with your Google, your Gmail account. It gives you a bit of code, you add that bit of code to your website, and it creates this.
Hello bar.
Yeah. And basically you're able to create a website, you're able to create emails to do basically nothing. It's really cool. It's really basically nothing.
My subscription box is so weird because it pops up and people don't even notice it, and on the phone it doesn't pop up, so that's really useful.
I know some people really be really clever with it. You can offer some really, again, you always want to give the customer value. So you might say, oh, sign up, you get a free download, or you get a discount code. You always want to give people stuff. I mean, everyone wants something for free, right? So if you give them an incentive, you will get people to sign up, like regardless. And if you get like 100 more leads or 100 more customers, I don't know how much that is for your business. That's awesome. So yeah, marketing stack is definitely something I recommend. And even sometimes I might be thinking, why don't you have a tool for this? I go here and you can just search it and you find it. It's a really, really cool place to be. Let's look at that one. So yeah, I've got marketing stack. Startup Stash is sort of similar, but it's more focused on startups or like small businesses. It's Startup Stash. I've used a bunch of their tools before. Sort of similar design. Actually, Startup Stash was created before Marketing Stack, but it's similar design. Literally, if you need I hate these pop-ups, by the way. Don't ever do pop-ups. Take one thing, don't ever do pop-ups. I hate it. Most people hate them, though.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it exactly the same as the other one?
Yeah, but this is mainly focused about building a business. Okay. So you have different. As a startup, you might need to generate a name. So this is different websites you can create different names from. Mm-hmm. And also you can check your name for your company just to make sure someone doesn't have the domain. Like for our company, Black Earth, it took us apparently 2 weeks to get right to that name because all the other ones that keep on coming up. Oh, it's great, we've got a name. Go on to reg, to like by the domain name. It's already taken, so you want to make sure you check that using name check and all the others. What else we got here? This is really cool. Honestly, like you just get so caught up in like building your company, and the most important thing, your name, you haven't checked it that someone else doesn't have a copyright on it or trademark on it. So you always want to be sure about that. So yeah, if you need customer support apps, all the stuff is there basically. We use Zendex for our customer support. Pretty much, if I always consider Startup Stash the business side of a company. The one I showed you previously is for all the marketing tools you might need. So there might be stuff that you think, oh, why not? I have a tool to sort this out. This is your place to be and like have a chat and then get to it basically. And piece of resistance, product hunt. Is anyone familiar with product hunt? Lou? It is. Hey, but I just got asked. I never might one person. Never know. Product hunt is the place for like any idea. Literally, if you think of any idea for a company, it's been on there. The reason why it's the place to launch a website and side projects, excuse that, and get inspiration is because literally it's the community where people go to launch their apps. So you jump on a website and you look to that. Yeah. So in each section you have like different company ideas that people propose. So you have tech, gaming, books, artificial intelligence, developer tools, home stuff, Apple stuff, wearables, and all topics. And the topics are endless. And the reason why I say it's good is that if you have an idea, if you come across a company and each idea that's presented, and this is on a daily basis, every single day for the last, I think, 4 years now. And basically, let's see this for example. So essentially this, you come to the website, short video demo or photo of the product, and you're able to scroll down. You're able to see a bunch of comments. So people, once the product goes on Product Hunt, or product whatever goes on Product Hunt, the person who created it gets tagged in, and they're basically able to discuss the reasons why they create that product. And for me, when I was just thinking of going into tech about 2 years ago, I had no idea how a tech company creates any products. I had no idea what tech people do. This is an important resource for me. Was it able to see how people are thinking and why they led to certain product decisions? And literally you have conversations of, okay, this is a cool feature, why is it priced in this way? And you have people coming in and discussing why this product is this way, and people offer their products. So if you want to launch a product, I think it's a good place to like get some early feedback from people. There might be stuff you might have missed when you're building your company, and you might get some honestly great feedback from people. And it's essentially free to list your product on there. It's good traffic, so it's a good
Is
shot.
that for specifically for tech or just for any type of product?
Any type of products. So you got freaking books and podcasts. Actually, follow. Yeah, let's see all topics. I forgot how many it is. Yeah, so you got all these products. We got writing tools, education, Facebook stuff, venture capital. It's like endless. You got calendars, gifts, Snapchat, LinkedIn, Spotify. It's just like so e-commerce, like branding. Like it's really most products you can be able to get some feedback on there. And even if you might not necessarily list your product on there, you might be able to see your competitors on there and see what led them to certain product design decisions and like decisions for their company. But it's really, really good resource. And even freaking Pokemon Go, and means got stuff on there. So yeah.
What website is that?
Product Hunt. Hold on, wait. Yeah, that's one. And cool. Last one I'll show you is, if you're feeling a little bit, these are too many tools coming at you, this is the best blog I've seen on growth hacking tools. So you might not necessarily need to be extremely well versed in coding and how to use all these tools, but this whole blog post delves into stuff you might need to acquire customers, so traffic acquisition. The pay with a tweet is a really cool service if you want to get some traffic from your Twitter account. I haven't used it before because like our content doesn't really lend itself to that, but if your content can do really well on Twitter, that's definitely a service you can check out. So you got traffic acquisition, so customer, like I mentioned before, if you're trying to collect emails on your website and you have a newsletter, or you want to give them some free stuff, Hello Bar is something I mentioned as a way of acquiring customers on your website for you. And there's a bunch of stuff on there, but it's broken down a little bit more in detail, so you can have a go. I think Typeform is really cool. If you want to create questionnaires that are way better designed, I'm actually going to use Typeform for our company, and it's so easy to use, and it's way better than a typical questionnaire. Yeah, so Monkey is good. It's really good, but it doesn't look good. Like these guys, like freaking amazing. Let me show you. So yeah, so literally well designed. You can customize it any way, shape, or form, and it's so easy to use. You can check them out, and their pricing. You can use their free option, and the free option is pretty decent. 10 questions and as many answers, well, as many questions you can have and answers you can have as well. So it's pretty easy to use. Yeah, I think that's it. And there's an ultimate directory if you want to be crazy. When you're low, this is like the mega. Actually, let me get rid of that. See again, pop-ups. Please don't do pop-ups. They just so annoying. So here we go. Alright, this is the ultimate directory for growth hacking tools you can find on the web. Don't think there's one better than this. So yeah, this is called growthtools.io, and it just breaks it down into each segment. So you got analytics, content marketing, landing pages, SEO tools, even WordPress stuff, which I don't use WordPress. Just get rid of that. Yeah, some WordPress stuff, video, stock images. Actually, I'll show you stock images. Let's have a look. Never, you guys are familiar with Unsplash? No, cool, I should. This is where I
First week of the year.
It's a good way to start. Yeah, this is where I go to get most of my free images. Like, so funny enough, when I mentioned before about engineering as marketing, so essentially what that means is that you create free tools and you give them for free, and you collect people's emails off that. So the company behind this is actually a software development agency, and so they needed customers. And they were like, okay, a very crowded industry in the US, how can we get more customers for our business, right? So what they did is they created a website called Unsplash. You go there, you get free images. You can sign up for the newsletter, you get 10 images for free in your inbox every single day. Or you can just go ahead and download them for free and literally use them for anything. You don't have to pay no one, don't have to attribute no one whatsoever. And the thing that's really cool is that they've got collections. So you might have some wildlife stuff. Let's say I want to find stuff around startups. So they have 29 collections of startup images. So I could just browse through, take stuff, use stuff for whatever projects I'm using for, and it's completely for free. And from there, I think they got like over 250,000 like free users, because this website is so popular and people just use it and download it for free. You can use it for your projects, and like they're way better. Like every single photo is high resolution. I've used it for presentations and even for like website landing pages on our website in our company. So yeah, all that's free basically. So yeah, never pay for image ever again. Free stuff is what we're all about here. That's real, like you get it, but like, it's really cool. Like even that one's cool. Yeah. Cool. I think that's pretty much it. You want to take a quick break, or you guys good to continue?
It depends on how long we got to go.
Actually, that's much.
Quite well.
Yeah, I think we can take a 5-minute break. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. I'm just gonna
Take a break. Yeah, can we delete some of it?
We should have had this lecture the first week of time, man. All this work with the
But not one day. We need a whole week to go through this.
all the work we've been doing, yeah. We could have used all these resources, all the presentations, all the consultations.
Crazy. Absolutely
That's
crazy.
what-
I think we're getting before
It's
the
unreal.
business.
Yeah. She's
So I'm
trying to
now basically done with the
and now we just we're halfway through,
I'm very deep, don't need that. I'll take it.
but better late than never. I am in the middle of a break.
What kind of break?
No.
Know your kind of break. You know what about your kind of break.
I don't know which kind of break that is, but.
I think all of us know what I'm saying.
I remember there was someone the other day I was looking for pictures for the website. For the website, we didn't know where to get it.
That's the most frustrating thing. Is like when I was in the same position, I was like, I just need good stuff because you keep on coming up there. You find images, but then they got watermark, or you have to go to Adobe and have to buy them. I don't have to buy this stuff. So yeah, it's just about finding the right thing to plug in.
I need to go and sit down after this and just, in a dark room by myself. Just take all and say why. So where did you meet Christian again?
So he was working at NACU. So you guys familiar with NACU? Yeah, I was part of NACU like 4 to 7 months here and there. So he was part of their community team who would work with different enterprise societies. And I knew a friend of a friend who worked there, so I got introduced and started to like help out on like a ad hoc basis. And then that's how me and connected, and like yeah, he's been my weird friend ever since.
You ever made Ashbury?
Hushby, yeah, I'm very Hushby, yeah. Were you at the leaders summit?
Oh yeah.
The Sheffield? No.
Oh, that's the big conference. I never got a chance to go to the big conference, yeah. Yeah, I heard it. Oh, that was really, really good.
Let's make sure.
Cool now.
Even the consultation we had with our group today, well not today, but the consultation with our team.
A lot of stuff you could have used.
And it's not such a good abuse.
Oh, so close.
Sample area.
So much stuff we need to so much easier. And we've got
Oh,
a
great.
presentation. Got to change it.
Are you
That was
really
waiting.
there?
Yeah, I'm sort of.
Why?
Because we can't get a word out of her. She doesn't want to talk to us. Every time we ask to meet, she's like, no. Or she'll say yes, and then next minute she's gone.
Which is great.
She's great. When she's not there, she's great.
Yeah, I quite liked her. The first time we met her, I liked her. And then he just went,
What does she do?
Then the first meeting, you sit down here, it was a table, she sit down in the other corner. Like
Yeah,
literally
over
over
there.
there. Like she put a chair like over there. We were here, the three of us.
And she was like, okay, so.
Yeah, okay.
What does she do?
She does customized denim. Using
You know what they mean by
customized
customized?
very loosely.
Say that
What do you think
again.
that means? That's a real question.
Customized denim. Tailored fit.
See, that's what you would think, but it's not.
That is not.
She sews on applique onto the jeans just to like patches.
Sews what?
So she puts like all these
Yeah.
Chanel patches and Velcro patches.
Yeah,
told me
well,
that
patches to be
before,
but
right?
Iron on. What did you say?
Did you put patches in the report?
No, I didn't put patches, I put accessories.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
So,
I was about to put patches. I was so close to put patches.
Like ice cream, you know there's NASA ones. And then she sells it at a very, very high margin. I still don't know who would pay for £150.
That's
roughly.
Total price.
What's so you have to bring your own sort of denim, whatever you're wearing. You say custom.
She's partnered with Levi's, probably because of high connections with
Yeah.
brands and stuff.
That's
And
exactly
then-
what we said, like it's not a proper partnership.
No, and then apparently you can choose whichever jeans you want, and then she got like a list of appliques, and then you just choose what applique you want and where you want it, and then she just
So basically, I can get that, and then she can put the two designs on there for me. That's what I want.
She would buy the jeans for you, so you could say, you know, she doesn't have a side of the service where you bring your own jeans.
So she has to buy them for you.
Yeah.
Even so
she
if
would
I know
give
the
you, like,
price.
the basic price for the jeans, what was it, £90? Is the basic price
No,
to get
she will charge you £150. And that will include the jeans plus the service of patching and stuff.
Well,
On top of
patch,
that,
yeah, service.
you buy whatever patch you want. So if you want your face, you make it and then you send it to me and I put it. That's what.
But do the jeans have to come from Levi?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she has to.
She has more than one supplier. I think it's a case of if she could find it at Levi, she would do Levi, and then she searches online for the other suppliers.
before in a pitch, she mentioned they asked her where you're going to get your market from.
Yeah.
And she says from friends and family that are willing to buy. And then they gave her zero in terms of investment.
It makes sense.
And then she started saying things like, I want to leave the degree.
Oh, really?
Crying.
See, that's the problem we have because we don't think you can expand past
Oh, no,
that she knows.
no one thinks they can. Nigel said, if you want to carry on with the business, get your father to invest. But then the money that he's investing, you can't claim back. So it's going to have to be a donation to the investor. And then she got her like $2 grand or something, which is the most out of everyone, which is very surprising.
I didn't know that.
How did you do it?
There's a lot of things you don't know.
Cool.
That's really interesting.
Really good.
You ready when you're ready?
Cool. Now we get down to the nitty gritty bit. Told you a bunch of tools, different frameworks. Now it's all about how you execute them. So we're running through quite a few growth hacks and stuff like that, which I've used as well. So I told you about the pirate funnel, the R funnel. Actually, I'll probably show it to you again. So let me try that one.
Awareness.
So yeah, you're alright. So you're right in terms of awareness, acquisition, activation, retention. For revenue, so you have that in mind, and basically all the tools I've presented will help you execute whatever growth ideas you have. you're able to test channels, and then from those channels, you're able to optimize the campaigns. So you're able to figure out exactly what's working for you, what's not working for you. So example that I've come across recently, so before I joined my current company, Pricing Startup, they're doing a lot of blogging, which is great. Like blogging is great. You get good SEO, get some keywords around your company, and you're able to put up your ranking from there. But the issue is they won't focus on distribution. Blogging is effective for you to build up an audience, but if your content is not being read by the audience, you're basically writing to yourself. So I figured out a way of actually distributing our content to the right people. So I not harass, but like, you know, chase up a few organizations that do sort of similar thing we're doing and collaborate with them, and we're able to like promote their content, able to promote our content basically for free, and from there able to get a bunch of traffic. So I figured out that, okay, using our tools, so we have in-house marketing, we have a marketing software called Hotspot, which I'll mention in a bit. I figured out what content was good, we weren't getting enough traffic to certain blog posts. So I said, oh, okay, let me do some partnerships. So I tested out the channel, contacted about 10 or 15 different organizations. Not everyone's gonna get back to you, but 5 of them got back to me. And then we did a couple campaigns with them in terms of cross-promoting their content. We're promoting they're promoting our content while we're promoting their content, and we have to get some good results. Another example is if I'm trying to launch a product, I want to test different marketing messages. So what I will do is I've directed a bunch of traffic to different web landing pages. So Insta page and Unbounce are very effective ways for you to create landing pages, and again, they're free. So everyone's awesome. So you'll be able to create let's see some templates. So let's say I want to create lead generation.
Feedback form.
Huh?
I need this week's feedback form.
So let's say I want to launch. No. Fuck off. So, I didn't want to do this. So let's say, oh no, but is this true? Okay, so let's say I want to, I have to sign in, crap. See, they're very smart, like I have to sign in to look at their product, which is annoying. Let's say I'm like this app company here. I want to get downloads from my app. I create a landing page. I can have a message that says download that app to get a freebie, or download that app today. I'm able to test that by directing traffic to different landing pages to see what messages get a better conversion rate. And because you're able to test that for very cheap, at a very cheap rate, if you were to do like a paid advertising campaign, you know exactly what marketing messaging works, so you can allocate more money and resources to that marketing message to get that to your customers. That's essentially what.
So experimentation is key.
Yeah, absolutely.
In marketing.
Absolutely key. Like a lot of it's a lot of it's experimental. Some experiments might work, some don't, which is fine. But you're not gonna get every campaign you do is not gonna work. That's a fact. Essentially, it always goes back to the 80-20 rule. So like 80% of your traffic, 80% of your revenue comes from like 20% of your campaigns, and that's just a fact. But you always have to constantly try new things to see whether you can increase that percentage in your favor. Like, but then like you always have to. So, good point. It's popped in my head. It always goes back to you have to manage expectations. I know early on when I jumped into marketing, I wasn't good at managing expectations. So everyone thought, oh, you're the new guy, you must know everything. Like, you're gonna make us so much money. I'm like, yeah, I'll make you so much money. I'm like, what the heck am I doing? And that creates this false like expectation. I'm gonna like, every single thing I do is gonna make the company money. It's not true. Every single campaign you do and every single deal you close for a company might not work out for the company, and that's just a fact. So your best bet is basically to focus on the ones that do work and build from there basically. Yeah, so I just test a bunch of marketing messages on Unbounce, and because you have a lot of free, I've been giving you a lot of free resources, you're able to create some really compelling ones using the free images and stuff like that to test out. But again, execution always comes down to this. What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to target certain points in a pirate funnel? Are you trying to raise awareness? Are you trying to increase revenue? Are you trying to increase retention? So if you have that goal in mind, you could go back. You can basically go backwards to say, okay, I'm trying to raise awareness. How do I raise awareness? Then you work your way backwards. That's probably the best that's why the Pirate Fund is so fundamental, because it helps you figure out what is your next objective. So instead of you having to do like 25 different things, you know exactly what you're doing, and it helps you look way more effective when you're doing your job than everyone else in the company running like headless chickens. Trust me, I've been in companies where there's a lot of headless chickens and it's not pretty. But yeah, ultimately with execution, you don't need to be perfect, but you need to execute faster than competition. That's exactly what it is. I joined my current company, Black Curve, in September. We officially launched in October. That literally 6 weeks after I joined. And the only reason we'll be able to launch quickly enough is because I just said, sod it, let's go balls to the wall, let's do everything we possibly can to raise awareness. Like, I even reached out to journalists, no journalists got back to me, I was like, all right, that's fine, it's cool. But we were able to like raise a lot of awareness that when we did launch, we have a bunch of customers, well, potential customers sign on, and we actually got 2 or 3 customers from there. But ever since we've launched, we added about 8 new customers to our company. And because we're an enterprise software company, we charge a lot more for our software than like normal, all the apps I showed you today. So we've added a lot more revenue to our company, purely because we're willing to execute faster our competition. Another example of this is that in pricing, quite a lot of the information is kind of really boring. But we said, let's make it not entertaining, but let's flip it on its head. Why don't we make it like easy to understand for like normal people, normal business owners? Because if you increase your pricing, you generate more revenue and profit for your company, but basically doing nothing. And who doesn't want to increase their profit and revenue, basically doing nothing? That's like perfect for everyone, right? So we said, okay, let's do a video series basically talking about pricing as a whole and how it can impact your revenue for your company. And because of that, my CEO has been doing a lot of videos around that. He was able to secure 2 meetings with quite big companies off the back of that, because he just basically posted on his LinkedIn profile. I've been posting on Facebook as well, I've done a few ads around that. So people see the video, go to his LinkedIn profile, look at his company, think, oh, these guys are interesting, let's book him for a meeting. We would not have got those meetings if we went the normal way of like, oh, let's do blogging, let's do email, let's do paid ads. We wouldn't have got those meetings. But because we need to try new things in video, no one's really doing pricing videos that often. So because we're able to do that and do it better than our competition, we're able to get business off the back of that. And there's just certain areas that might be beneficial to you, that you might want to try out, go for it. And if you can do better than competition, you'll be way ahead eventually. Yeah, so common growth hacks. We'll be going through a few of these. Yeah, this is actually true. Yeah, tools don't mean blank if you don't have clear goals. And that's why I always go back to the pirate funnel. If you have a clear goal in mind that you want to increase revenue by 10%, if you want to increase retention by 5%, or you want to decrease amount of customers you're losing, or you want to increase awareness. If you have that goal in mind, it's so much easier to work backwards. Quite often in marketing, people like just want to throw out random goals like, oh, we just want to raise more awareness for the company. It's like, that's great. Like, more people know about you is great, but does that impact our revenue? Do we earn more money off that? So you always want to have a clear goal in mind. And then from there, you figure out how to attack that goal. And the reason why I bring this up, so a couple of companies can buy more tools than you, can hire more overpriced consultants than you, they can steal your ideas. Quite a few companies steal your ideas. Quite a few companies steal our ideas as well, which is hilarious in itself. But they've been outsmarted and dominated by startups. For example, everyone knows Uber, taxi industry, Airbnb and hotels, Tesla and car companies. Tesla, I think, is the second most valuable car company in the world. And if you would have told everyone 5 years ago that was possible, they'll laugh at you. They're like, get out the window.
They'll take you to an insane home.
But Tesla was smart. What they did was a simple hack. They figured, why do we have to have dealerships? We don't need dealerships. We should just car the dealerships and sell the car directly to consumer, like over the internet. That's what you need to do. And they were to cut out a middleman and be more profitable. And then they realized, why do we need to buy batteries from other people? Why don't we make our own batteries? So you're able to cut out the middleman again. Uber, same thing. Like, we don't have to go to all these taxi companies to rent their cars. Just go straight to consumer. Airbnb, hotels, like, who wants to pay so much money when you can actually have a more authentic experience on your trip by going directly to the consumer? And the ethos of all of that is that you just have to be able to have clear goals in mind. And by having clear goals in mind and the tools in place, be able to conquer quite big companies. And most of the big companies, they're slow, they don't have no vision, and the people, no, I don't want to insult their people. They just don't have the drive to actually try new things. And that's how, if you work in a small business, you have more impact of actually dictating where the company's going to go. So yeah, I've included a link to a bunch of growth ideas. Because if I try to list every single growth hacking idea I know, we'll be here till you turn grey. So here's just a website in case you need some inspiration. So there's a bunch of ideas. Literally so simple. Like, so this one, send out all articles and newsletters on the weekend. I know quite a few guys who run mailing lists do this. So for example, they'll publish all their articles during the week. And some people are just lazy, they're not going to open your emails. If you send it to them, you can package it as a newsletter, send it every weekday. You have some call to action stuff on your emails. So literally you say, thank you for downloading this ebook. Would you want to create an account? So literally, so you've added value to someone, they've signed up for something, they want to download your ebook. And literally the first thing you think, I don't really like this company, I'll download the information. I'll give them a go. So easy to do. Literally, the time for you to do that, well, the return on investment of that will probably be in the thousands, tens of thousands for your company. And there's a bunch of stuff around here that you can have a look at in your time. So yeah, I mentioned this before in terms of growth hack effectiveness. Some growth hacks change. They might be really effective yesterday, might be effective today, but just keep on top of the trends. And examples of companies that use growth hacks is a website called growthhackers.com. They have a bunch of growth hacking stories, pretty much of most companies. So you've got Slack, Tinder one. The Tinder one I mentioned, they have a really good story about that. Stripe, even Spotify as well, WhatsApp as well, LinkedIn. So on and so forth. You might be thinking, oh, this is tech, this doesn't really have much relevance for my business. True. But it goes back to what I said earlier on before, you have to be able to learn from different areas. Like there's certain things I've picked up in terms of customer support and customer service that I picked up when I was a waiter when I dropped out of uni. Like there's certain little things you pick up from every industry. They might not necessarily just have to be from tech. But if you're able to pick up more information and different hacks, different ideas you can test for your company, you'll be a lot further along than everyone else in the industry. But no, here's an example of a growth hack you can actually use. I've used to find customers. I've used this hack via Facebook to find potential customers of our competitors. So I'll actually run you through it now. So essentially what you do, you can actually do it right now if you've got a laptop. Let's say you pick, let's say you pick Apple. You go to Apple's Facebook page and you click on their profile picture. So once you click onto their profile picture, go to the address bar and you copy this. So this is the company, the Facebook, that's the company. You click on their profile picture, you copy that number, and then you paste this number at the end of this. So you copy this into a new tab, put this in, you copy that, that company's number there, you put it there, and what you will get is basically, show you example right here. Let's say, so I'll copy this. So I've taken that particular number, and essentially what that number is it's a specific number, it's a, that way, just to see it better. This is essentially a specific number to Apple's Facebook page. If you take that information, what I do is, a second. post it into a new tab. So I take this number that identifies it with Apple's Facebook page. I'll put that there. Press enter. Ah! I'm going to be logged in. My bad. It's going so well. So essentially on this page you have now so that number I've taken, which belongs to Apple. So this page populates with all the stuff all the people who like Apple's page. This is all the other brands they've liked as well. So you can imagine for your competitors, you're able to see what their customers are liking and whether you could actually piggyback not only off their audience of these other pages, also whether you could copy take inspiration from the ads these companies are running to see whether you could take some of the information from these other companies to add to your campaigns as well. So you've got examples, you've got Apple, obviously you've got Apple stuff, Sony stuff, Lamborghini, I wouldn't think, but then maybe obviously Apple owners are rich, so maybe like Lamborghinis. I'm surprised they like Galaxy because I don't know, it's way better phone. And you should see a bunch of Apple stuff. And you can do this for any company, any major company. And then this is I did this last night. I was like, what the hell? That is funny. That is really funny. So I don't know why that's there. But you're able to find pretty weird stuff. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. So maybe you want to do, so you can take this information and when you're running a Facebook ad, you can actually add the likes. So let's say you want people who like these pages, you can add that in. And because it's quite a popular page, you can say people who like Donald Trump, who also like Apple ads, I want my ad to run against that, and that'll populate your newsfeed. So that's how targeted you can get with Facebook. And now you can do that with Instagram a little bit, I think. They haven't rolled it out completely yet, but they're going to eventually roll it out across Instagram as well. So that's a way of you understanding not only your competitors, but also understanding what their customers are thinking and what they're liking as well. And because you understand them a lot better, you're able to target them a lot better. Yeah, sure.
My friend has this Instagram algorithm thing. I don't know what it is, but I was wondering if you could tell me where they basically like his pictures, so he doesn't do anything, so he just, even like at 5 a.m. there's people liking his stuff. And he's liking other people's stuff. Like, what's that? Essentially,
what it is that if you advertise a lot with Instagram, you have access. No. You have to have access to Instagram's developer tools. So the developer platform allows you like access to their data, and then from their data, if you know what you're doing, if you're a programmer, you're able to like program different scripts to actually figure out who exactly likes your friend's content. And once you find out those people, you can like influence them by liking their stuff. Eventually, they'll like your stuff as well. It's essentially what that growth part thing I told you does.
Okay, so that's
that's essentially what it does. But yeah, so it's really effective because like I said, you're getting engagement, but also you get a lot of followers off that as well.
Verified now, so I'm good.
Exactly. Well, you gotta do to get those likes. It's essentially that's literally a simple growth hack you can do. And it's free, and you can find out more information about your competitors as you go along. So you're able to spot trends, commonalities, ideas, patterns, irregularities. Like I said, irregularities, we saw Donald Trump page on Apple, that's like, what is that? But it might be something you can test out eventually. But yeah, it's basically get to reminds you of your early customers, and you'll be able to have some ideas about partnership with brands and blogs you could like partner up with as well. So, ready to join the dark side? Any Star Wars fans in the ask? Okay. Unlimited power! Okay. Cool. So the dark side, skills and knowledge. Andrew Chen, he actually is one of the growth people at Uber. Before that, he run growth at a bunch of companies. He wrote the definitive piece on growth hacking in terms of the mindset. So if you want to refer to that, that's there. This growth hacking book by Ryan Holiday. is amazing, especially if you're just trying to understand the basics. Like, it's literally about 100 pages. You can download the audiobook, read it. I think it is a good place to start. And also HubSpot Marketing Academy. So this is a good way if you want to understand inbound marketing. Is anyone familiar with inbound marketing?
No, I wasn't.
It's basically what you create a different marketing campaigns to get traffic to come to you. So you're not actively pursuing customers and users that way. So for example, like blogging is a good way of doing that, newsletters and so on and so forth, email marketing as well. So you've got email marketing and content marketing certificates. So HubSpot Academy is completely free. Again, you can detect the theme here. So yeah, you can learn a bunch of free stuff. No, wait. Yeah, you can I did the inbound marketing course. Well, you don't sign up for an account, you know. You sign up for an account for free, and you'll be able to do a course in literally just a couple hours, 2-3 hours, and it offers a really good fundamental basis for you to understand. Okay, what's inbound marketing? What's email marketing? And what's inbound sales? And the cool thing is, when you complete any of these courses in your own time, you could put that on your CV. Say, hey, I've done an inbound marketing course. Because funny enough, I did this 3 years ago. So I did it 3 years ago. I did it again last year just because I was bored. I'm nerdy that way. And I put it on my CV, and literally my CEO said, "Oh, the reason why I took you for interview because you put HubSpot inbound certificate on your CV." And I didn't know at the time that he actually was using HubSpot software to do all the marketing in the company. So just little stuff like that can help you a long way. And all their stuff is really easy to use, and you can do it at your own time. And yeah, they've got some really good content as well. If you ever want to check out their blog. So you got HubSpot. And I've used these groups to connect with fellow marketers, and people post very often, and all their stuff is like, oh my god, it's so good. I can't even, I've become way more, when you mentioned before about people who know social media marketing to the T.
Yeah.
There are people on here who run campaigns for celebrities and brands to make millions of freaking dollars, and they're just sharing their stuff. And the stuff they're sharing is really effective. So for example, Badass Marketers and Founders. It used to be open, and it's a group of really, really technical marketers, people who really know their stuff with massive brands, not even in the UK, but across the world. And they all just come to one group. It's 10,000 people, and literally every single day someone's dropping a guide of how you can automate your LinkedIn profile. Someone mentioned a guide about how you can automate your LinkedIn profile, do a Twitter profile, your Facebook page, Facebook ads, every single major marketing channel you can think of. There's a guide inside there. It used to be open, but then they realized they need to close it because so much great content was coming out every single day. I'll quickly show it to you. So I'm logged in. And so let's say I want to find. So let's say I want to find stuff around LinkedIn. Yeah. So literally, this is a guy. I actually chatted with that guy before. This is a guy of you actually getting B2B customers. I've taken some ideas I'm going to implement it for our company, and it's just a place. Amazing resource to not only communicate with fellow marketers, but also get some ideas of what people are doing as well. Yeah, it's really, really useful and helpful. I think they've closed it, but you can sign up with a free. I think you have to sign up with a questionnaire to basically. They verified a lot of people because they had an issue with a lot of spammers, but they're closed it now. But no, it's really good. If you can't get into the group, I have my email at the end of the slides. Email me and I'll probably send you the guide anyway. Some really cool, powerful stuff there that you can dive into. And it's not just fluff stuff, it's really, not technical, but really, really helpful. So whether you're B2C company, you're mainly focusing on consumers, or you're B2B, talking of businesses, like they're just phenomenal. From the group.
What's it called?
BAMF. So badass founders and marketers. They had a poll. Oh, trust me. they messed up. They had a poll. They basically polled like 10,000 people and said, "Oh, what would you want to name the group?" And there was some weird name, and they eventually settled on this one. So that's one group. Traffic and Copy is another group, UK focused, with a bunch of international people. Actually, no, they Copy. This is an open group, so you could actually check it out right now. So it is a bunch of stuff. Like for example, I saw this afternoon and I liked it because like you get 3,000 tech journalists contact information, and someone just gave it to the whole group. So if you're launching a tech startup, you want to talk to journalists, that's your guide. And this happens every single day. People just giving like valuable stuff because I've shared some ideas I've had as well. Because I gain so much value, like you have to give value as well, which is really awesome. And that's just one guide you get every single day. So in case you want to like have an idea of what like a Facebook ad person doing, or like email person doing, or like a online video person doing, you just jump in here and see what they're doing. You can ask questions in the comment section. People will be open-minded and helpful as well. And cool. Growth Hackers is another forum which you can get a bunch of ideas from, especially a bunch of growth hacks to test across the pirate funnel. So you can literally search for any, let's say I want to do paid ads. Actually, really cool thing is that you've got articles. They've got a bunch of articles, got growth studies, questions people have ask anything, videos as well, slide decks, and pretty much any marketing question you have or who's ever been asked. Type in there, you're gonna get some really cool examples for you to test out. Don't need to test out everything, but just get some ideas. Some articles are a little bit older than others, but mostly it's up to date.
Do you pay for this one as well?
Free!
Free!
Free! What's that again? Free! No.
No, but it's a 30-day trial.
See. So
It doesn't say free.
Wait. Okay, you're getting confused. So what? The community aspect is free.
Right.
But we have to do grow/post.
What?
Yeah. So the reason is they built such a massive community, like literally, like I think over 250,000 people, like on the email list. They built that up over a year. Then they quickly realized the main issue with like growth hackers. Obviously, I mentioned the ICE framework, the impact, confidence, and ease framework I mentioned, and the pirate funnel. So you got a bunch of ideas, all these funnels and all this good stuff, and they essentially create a tool for you to manage that. And that's why on their website they're trying to say sign up for a free 30-day trial because they're trying to charge you for it, but you can use all their stuff from that basically. It's really awesome, Growth Hackers. And any questions so far? No? Awesome. Let's love that thing.
No, I said all the questions.
Oh, cool. Just back again to Mr. Robot. If you haven't seen it, please go see it. It's freaking awesome. But yeah, essentially, like that's really what it is. It's just focusing on hacking together systems that get you results and help you execute fast in competition. Like I'm a uni dropout. I didn't really intend to study this stuff. Like if I can do it, anyone can. And you don't necessarily to do it to like the degree I'm doing it, but at least you have an idea of where to get tools, what to do, how to actually create goals that help your business, which is more important in marketing. And yeah, just testing things and figure out your own basically. And shit, fucking emojis didn't come out right. I'm sorry. I was off the floor talking about that anyway, that's another discussion. But no, if you want the slides, email me at manny@gmail.com. I'll give you this. That's actually a real email address, yeah? Well, you say if we want you, but you say you're going to give it to us.
Hey, that's why he's head boy. He's so strong.
Yeah, well, yeah, I could give it to you.
I could be a man all day if you know how to get data from customers, and the first thing he does is ask you for your email address. It's very obvious what's happening.
Well, to be fair, the reason why I put it in there to show you that I'm actually kind of using you guys for lead gen as well. So basically, you like if you do want to give me your email address, that's fine, or I can give the slides to Christian. But if you do want a chance of winning that book of traction, which I mentioned earlier on, which has all the marketing channels, whoever enters in will have a chance of winning it, and I'll mail it to you. Yeah, so my details. We do have a paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make up
We do have a paid marketing internship in 2018. We have one for this year. 2017 this year? But yeah, we do have a paid marketing internship every summer. It's something I've started. And yeah, we open applications late Jan and Feb. So drop me an email on my business, my work one, and I'll get back to you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you.